you already lead like this crazy healthy lifestyle, then we don't have to worry about that gene. But if you are showing symptoms and you do have like, variations in that genes that say, hey, you may need some support here, then we already know where to look at. And we can target that exact point. So that's why I think it's so beneficial for hairstylists, because as you and I know, we have a lot of probably friends who have had to actually leave the industry, quit a career that they love because of the fact that they have certain aversions to like the chemicals or skin rashes or asthma or whatever the case may be. We've heard it all.
If you're ready to create a salon business that thrives, but also aligns with your values of clean, holistic, and sustainable practices, then you're in the right place. Whether you're just getting started on your journey or you're already running a successful salon but crave more impact and clarity, this podcast is for you. I'm going to dive deep into mindset, systems, and strategies that help salon owners like you grow and scale your business while staying true to your purpose. Every week, we are going to have real conversations about the challenges, the successes of running a holistic salon. And I'll give you my insider tips. So if you're ready to transform your salon into a powerhouse of purpose, profit, and peace, let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to the Impactful Salon Owners Podcast. I'm your hostess, Jacqueline Rodriguez, and today I have Chris Megia Barra with me, and she has been a stylist for 36 years. And ultimately, this all brought you to what you are incorporating now, which is hair and wellness coaching on your DNA. So I'm really excited to have you here and talk about these new, very holistic practices that you're bringing into the salon. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, it's been 36 years in the industry, in the best industry that you could possibly be in. And incorporating new things just as I, grow and incorporate things that I'm passionate about. It's just been so much fun and really a game changer in overall business.
Yeah, it has been. And, I think that's the key, is things that you're passionate about in your life.
Absolutely. Because then it just comes naturally. And then it becomes about just sharing and, what I know. And a lot of people resonate with it, some don't, and that's okay too. So it's just fun.
Yeah. Well, I think that we see that in our industry, right? Is just things that are really important to you in your day-to-day life. Being able to bring that onto the salon is amazing. But because you've been in the industry for longer than I have, I mean, I thought I was in it for a long time. 26 years is also a long time.
Yes.
But you normally, especially when we first got into it, you didn't bring your outside life into the salon.
Oh, no.
It was very much like, I do hair, I do makeup. That's it, right?
Maybe a wedding.
Yeah. Yes. A wedding. Oh my goodness. Years of weddings. I can't say that I miss weddings.
I would agree with you.
But I love that the way the industry has started to change, and that you do see more and more now people bringing in the things that they're passionate about to their clients, to their salon, and really starting to shape these beautiful, unique experiences for their clients.
Absolutely. And I think, like you were saying in the beginning, or at least in the beginning of my career, it was very much regimented. Like, you don't talk about anything else. You don't talk about you don't do all of the things, which there are still boundaries to that, right? I feel like there's still boundaries to that behind the chair. But you do also create these relationships with the people that you're seeing on a recurring basis over and over and over again. And they get to know your life. They get to know more about you, just as we get to know more about them. And then along the journey is like you're starting to share the things that you're passionate about, and either they take interest into it or it's something that they need. And it just becomes this whole process of just kind of like sharing something with a friend of yours that, hey, check this out. I'm learning about this. And it becomes that type of relationship behind the chair too, which is actually fun, because it's not just talking about whatever, what happened last night, all the things that are going on. It's just more about like learning together too. So it's been nice. And I really feel like you tend to attract the people that are very similar to you, that may have, similar interests. So I've been passionate about hair, and, wellness has always been a thing for me. I've always been, into like exercise and like eating the right things and, stuff like that. So this is a common conversation that I have anyway.
I love that. So tell us a little bit more about what this DNA thing is and how you're starting to incorporate it.
So let me give you a little backstory of how I got into it, and then I'll get into that. So I was having personal health issues of my own, skin rashes, like just not feeling good, brain fog, all of the things. And not to mention I'm going through the change, so enough said.
Thing. Right? Yes, it's a thing we all women have to go through.
Exactly. So I was going to doctor after doctor trying to find help, because all I knew it was that I did not feel like myself. That was it. Like, I just knew I didn't feel like myself. But all the doctors were saying, oh, your labs are great, everything is fine. No, you just need to work out a little bit more. You need to be on antidepressants. You need to do like this pre-diabetic drug, all the things. And I'm like, but I'm not there yet. And I'm not depressed, so I don't want to take an antidepressant. I do exercise, all the things. So I wasn't getting any answers. And, as life will have it, I found genetic testing. And it was everything that I was looking for, because genetic testing is based on root cause. And I'm all about like, I want to know what the root cause is, because I was going to like a dermatologist, and it was about putting a topical on, which is fine because it helps, but what's causing that? And so how I've been using it, currently I've been using it a lot for people who are experiencing hair loss or hormonal changes. And so giving them personalized solutions based on their DNA. So your genetic blueprint, once you do get the testing done, it's literally the blueprint to your health and wellness. It'll tell you what your genetic propensities are, so that you don't have to guess. You don't have to guess at like, well, what type of food should I be eating? What sensitivities do I have that I should be avoiding? All of the things, it's literally like right here. And not to say that Western medicine is like, null and void. No, absolutely not. But it's definitely something that I've used to share with my doctors, like, hey, okay, so I have my genetic testing done. These are some of the things that are, up for me. How can you support me with that, if that was even needed? So it's been just an incredible journey as far as healing.
I love that. And I think that they're both types of wellness and, medication and just the medical industry together. It has to have both.
Yeah.
If I break my arm, I'm not going to a holistic,
right.
chiropractor. I'm going to go to the emergency room.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to our health like this, it really resonated with me what you're saying about here's an antidepressant and here's, very Band-Aid solutions.
Yes.
To a problem that we don't even really understand, like why it's happening. And, this whole thing is mind-boggling, because I got that same thing. Like, hey, I'm not feeling like me. I'm not feeling great. And yeah, I have some days where I'm not super happy-go-lucky, and I'm a pretty positive, happy person. And there's more days sometimes that I'm not feeling that way. And my doctor said the same thing. Well, we should put you on antidepressants. And I just looked at her and I'm like, you know me better than that.
Right.
I'm not taking antidepressants because I'm not depressed. Like, that's not the root cause of what's happening. So I found an integrative doctor. But to your point is, they don't know everything. So it's so important to advocate for yourself and start looking deeper when you feel like you're not getting the support. Like, I don't think we should just blindly follow doctors' instructions.
Oh, for sure. And to be like your own advocate is, I think it's just so needed, because you'll go into the doctor, I'm not saying all, because currently I have a great experience. So you go in and, they are telling you one thing and you're like, but no, I really need to have this particular test done and I need a full lab of it. No, we just do this particular one. And it's just like pushing for it and pushing for it and pushing for it until you finally get what you really need. And so with the DNA testing, it's really helpful because, for example, I was having an issue with like insurance to get my thyroid, like a full on panel. And based on my genes, I was like, well, listen, I have this genetic propensity for this. I really, think it's important because of all the other symptoms that I'm experiencing, and this might be the answer, kind of thing. So, using it in your favor to kind of give you a little bit of ammo to say, hey, I need a little additional support.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. I mean, it is all about advocating for yourself, no matter where you're going, whether you love your doctor or not, or if you're going anywhere, to the chiropractor, to dermatologist, any type of medical, you should be advocating for yourself.
Absolutely.
So how did you go about, you had this experience and then you found DNA?
I found DNA. Yeah. And so I was able to, so at the core of health and well-being, I know it's not the sexy answer, but at the core of it is nutrition and gut health. Like if our nutrition and our gut health is not on point, nothing, like you can take all the supplements you want, you could take medication, even if that were the case, but if your gut isn't absorbing it, you're not really getting the benefits of it. So like really starting at a foundational level. And so with the DNA testing, it shows literally like where you could use support. And the beauty of it too is getting the one-on-one coaching so that you can decipher, because you get the DNA report and you're like, what? What does this say? And so, having someone like help you break it down, and based on current symptoms, like what's showing up. Because at the end of the day, your genes are your genes and they never change. So you could take this test when you're 2 years old. You can take this test when you're 99 years old, and it'll be the same exact test. But the beauty of it is that you can change the expression of the gene. So let's say you have a gene that says you're not clearing a certain detox pathway efficiently. Just because you have that gene, if you're not showing current symptoms, because maybe and I thought, gosh, this would be such a supportive tool for a hairstylist, anyone, but like as specifically a hairstylist to have in their back pocket. Because if you're able to know exactly what you need to do for your body so that you can clear the toxins, get rid of any buildup that is really causing all of these issues to happen, then I mean, how amazing would that be?
Yeah, amazing, because then it's no more guessing.
No more guessing.
Where, what the underlying cause is and where in your body is this happening. You have what is in your DNA that, like you said, is not going to change at all. And then how can your lifestyle support that or counteract what your DNA already says? If you're not releasing toxins, then you can do other things to help you release toxins that your body doesn't want to on its own.
Absolutely. And, sometimes it could just, sometimes it's the low hanging fruit of like balancing the micronutrients that your body needs. And that in itself, if you're not converting a certain micronutrient that your body needs to efficiently detox, then maybe even just supporting it with that could just be the thing that just makes you feel better. A lot of times it's about just feeling tired all day. And I think that in our industry, we're tired because it's a physical job. It's a physical job. Yeah. It's an emotional job. It's a mental job. You're doing all of the things. And I think a lot of times we chalk it up to like, we're just tired. We're physically tired. But a lot of times it has to do also with if you're having any of the toxic buildup, because we are surrounded by toxins all day long. And I know just by listening to your podcast, I've learned like we could be clean beauty all day long, but there's toxins all around, we still have the toxins. And so all over, right? Environmental toxins, you name it, right? Plastics, all things. And so if you're able to like reduce the toxic load and then also know how your body can be supported to do it even better, reducing that buildup, because essentially what's happening is it's building up. Because just I'll break it down really quickly. There's 3 phases that our body goes through to detox. And the first phase is just like your body breaking down fat molecules into water so that it can excrete. Then it goes to a second phase that it just breaks it down even more. And then the third phase is like when you are either excreting it through bowel movements, pee, sweat, all of the things just to get it out of your body. And so if it's backed up, like, if the signs are like, a lot of times people say, I never sweat when I exercise, I never do that. That could be a sign, so when I talk to my clients about it and they're telling me certain things, like, I don't even, go to the bathroom like every day. It's like, okay, that's a sign, because we need to get these toxins out of the body so that we don't have the reactions to it. And some people just have it more so than others. Like, I don't have that. Like, I'm not affected by physically, like noticeably, affected by like smells or, the chemicals or anything like that. But my partner in the studio that I work in, she's highly affected by it. So we do all the things like with the filters and, starting to really look into cleaner products, things like that. It's just one step at a time.
Yeah. You do have to take it all one step at a time. And everything that we think is normal is something, it's telling us one thing or the other, right? It's telling us, like, I'm very sensitive to smells. I get an instant headache. I always felt that way, but it's because I was in the industry for so long, I just thought that's how I was supposed to feel. Like that was just normal. And then when I got away from all of those chemicals and being in it day to day, if I even walk into a traditional salon now, it almost takes my breath away. Anytime I'm walking in the mall or around any perfume, I have to like hold my breath and walk quickly, because even smelling it for a few minutes, like a few seconds, I get like this kind of dull headache. And my body's trying to tell me something.
Exactly. And that's exactly it. Anytime you're having symptoms of any sort that aren't normal, and a lot of times, we just need to like pay attention, because we know intuitively, we know when we're not feeling ourselves. Like, no matter what a doctor says, no matter, who anybody says, what anybody says, we know if we're not feeling well. And that is the sign of like, hello, pay attention to me. I'm going to show you a symptom of a rash so that, hopefully you pay attention to that, and let's get to the root cause of, well, what's really causing this,
Yeah. So bringing this on, and we talked about the experience in the salon and everything, like you didn't always have this type of experience. So what challenges or maybe pushbacks have you gotten, if any, from your clients, or how are they receiving it?
I don't think I have any pushback from any clients. And some get it and some don't. I think the biggest pushback is probably from myself. It's like, it's going into this like imposter syndrome of like, who am I to do this? I do hair, and I'm not discounting hairstylists, because we are all of the things, and I get that. Yeah. But I went into that whole mindset too of like, are people really going to take me seriously because I'm a hairstylist? Or are my clients going to take me seriously? Or I even had the thought of like, are my clients going to think that I'm not even into hair anymore because I'm doing something else? I had all these thoughts going on. And it's so funny because anytime I share with a client, like what's going on or what am I doing, they're so fascinated and interested by it that every time they come in and they're like, so tell me more. They want to know, after we talk about the hair stuff, they want to know more about the other thing. And so it's been pretty incredible to see that way. And I just, just like in anything, if you believe in it yourself, then it just comes out. The energy comes out that way. And, and again, it's for some people and it's for not, and that's okay too. I had to like be okay with that too. So, it's been that learning curve of just like, just being okay with being yourself. You know what I mean?
And it's so true.
Mm-hmm.
That whole imposter feeling and being okay with just being you,
Mm-hmm.
it's unfortunate and kind of sad, but we all, in some regard, kind of deal with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's really hard to bring and be who you are openly, or if it's just like little things like this. But we do get to bring that forward. And you see so many more stylists. I love it. Like on Instagram,
Oh,
um, I see all of these amazing humans doing and being themselves, which opens up and allows others to be themselves.
mm-hmm.
And I've seen that with our clients in the salon of like talking about all kinds of different things. Because what does sustainability have to do with hair?
Right,
What
right.
is, I mean, clean beauty, yes, but clean living
Mm-hmm.
and your health and taking
Mm-hmm.
care of your wellness and your mental,
Mm-hmm.
what does that have to do with hair?
Right.
And we have a huge responsibility, I feel like, because our clients trust us. I mean, think about the amount of things that your clients tell you.
Oh my gosh, I could write
They
a book.
trust you. But we never will. Clients listening,
Never.
we will never write that book, but we could.
Yeah, yeah,
But
and that's the thing too. It's like it. I always my whole thing has always been hair is just the icing on the cake. But what's happening inside too, I feel like is most important because it's almost that thing of like uh everything just like on the physical, everything just looks like brighter, shinier, all the things when you're feeling good on the inside. It doesn't even matter, you know, like that it's like the hair doesn't even matter. It's a bonus. And so
yes,
that's the whole thing of like I've always been passionate about just like beauty inside and out, and how can we reflect that back to our clients, and how can we help them get to that place so that they do feel good. And again, the hair is just like the hair is like the fun part of like hanging out with people and making them feel good.
yeah. And the fact is there's so many amazing stylists out there that can do great, amazing hair. So what is it about you that brings your clients coming back to you?
Mm-hmm.
What continues to have them come in not day to day, maybe day to day,
Mm-hmm.
right? But month after month, year after year, why are they coming back?
Mm-hmm.
Because they resonate with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because that relationship, I mean, I can't tell you how many clients tell us, like, I'm loyal. I
Mm-hmm.
keep coming back, right? And we see that in a lot of our clients.
Mm-hmm.
But how are we showing up?
Mm-hmm. Well, and then that's the thing. It's like we're so afraid to be ourselves, yet that's actually the magic, and that's why they're coming back.
Exactly. That's the magic of the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I teach in the academy so much of like, what is your unique personality? What is your unique mission and your vision that will keep people coming back? And
Mm-hmm.
like structuring this experience around what you personally love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, I mean, in my salon, I have stylists that come in, they have to have some part in that too, right? They have to align with my bigger vision and mission
Oh,
so that
sure.
it aligns with theirs and they feel like they can deliver and be happier in that space.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, like do you promote that? Is it intertwined into your vision and your mission for your business? Like how have you done all of that?
Well, it's really interesting because my clients that I do the DNA readings for, they're not just clients behind the chair. A lot of my clients do come from that because it's like this natural conversation that you have. So it's more of like I'm offering two different things, and for some clients they choose to do it, some don't. And it's just I just really want to get this information out to really whoever feels called to it, because I just the foundational information that you get is so powerful and impactful that it could really change the trajectory of your health and well-being. And so that's why I'm super passionate about it. and even working with women who are going through the phase that I'm going through, it's like, it's so, it's just so, what's the word? Like, it's just like an honor that I'm able to just really share my journey, what I went through. And a lot of times that's all it really is for people, a client, to be on the same page with you, because they're like, wow, I'm not alone. You felt that too. Oh my gosh. Just like earlier, you were telling me that's what my doctor said to me too. It's like, okay, we're not alone. And sometimes people don't have that conversation with others and don't know that they're not alone, because maybe they're afraid to talk about it or whatever the case may be. So it's almost like a win-win to like have another thing that you're passionate about as a hairstylist. If it feels right for you to add another, another thing on the menu to offer to a client, it's kind of like the perfect platform to have, because you already have a built-in audience.
Exactly. Yeah. And when you're being so open with them, you just it naturally comes up. It naturally opens up another service. So is that how you've incorporated? Is it just like another service on your menu in the salon?
It's definitely, it's another service on the menu. And more so currently right now, clients are finding out just because of conversations that I'm having with them, that type of thing. So and then word of mouth.
Of course. Do you have any plans on maybe incorporating more of that and maybe promoting and like bringing in more of that messaging into your website and things like that? Is there a plan there?
It's definitely doing that, because like I think I mentioned it. I'm like, who was I talking to about this? Great about how I have a lot of clients who have been experiencing hair loss and things like that. I went through that journey myself. And so I've been really incorporating a lot of that with the DNA testing with clients, if they're experiencing that, or hormonal imbalances, to help them get on the right path to starting to feel better. What are the foundational things that they can do? And seeing them as a whole, like a whole body, right? The holistic approach on how to target the hair loss before getting on whatever medications or anything like that. Because even if you do, again, not against the medication, but even if you do that, once you stop, if you're not taking the foundational steps, then the hair sheds, right? And so having that foundational support with your health and having all of the things running efficiently, because you already know exactly what you need based on the blueprint, just makes the whole long-term experience it's just so much better. Because with hair, it's like, it's a long game, right? Because hair loss is like, it's going to take a minimum of 3 months to see any results, just based on the natural cycle of hair growth. And so it's just a long game. And so it's like, why not get the foundational support? Kind of like if you build a house, right? Or even do a haircut. If you don't have the foundation of the haircut in the style strong, the hair, it just falls. Like the style will never stay because the foundation wasn't built. And so with the DNA testing, it's the same exact concept of getting the foundation of your health supported and strong, so that the longevity, the health of your hair is just that much better.
For sure. I mean, that is the best way to start bringing that into your salon. So like my ideas are spinning, because with the academy, a main part of, there's 3 pillars, and we bring in, the first one is all around the mental, right? Getting out of that imposter, who am I to do this? All of the subconscious thoughts that we have. That same process I offer my clients. So I offer them to my students in the academy, but I offer my clients behind the chair that same type of process, right? So it's taking that piece and making a service. But then the next pillar in the academy is the ecosystem, and building out that entire step-by-step experience of what your client wants to, like how you want your client to experience your salon, and tying that DNA into anyone who's already a clean or sustainable salon or wanting to, but also head spas. That would be a beautiful, like, additional piece to bring onto the head spas, because they are like huge. We have a head spa in my salon, and we have been doing clean products for all of that for a long time, but adding that DNA part would make such a big difference for all of our clients struggling with the hair loss, or even struggling with oily hair, dry hair. I'm sure all of that is an underlying condition as well.
1,000%, 1,000%. And like you said, with the head spas, there's a guy in the studios that I work at, and he has a beautiful head spa, and it just works hand in hand with, with all of the things, because again, it's just like taking care of things on a foundational level, and then adding the additional support with the supplements, the head spas, the scalp treatments, the supplements, whatever it is that you choose, what route. I mean, the results are just that much better. And so if you can provide that for a client and give them that whole experience, and then on top of it, you're like doing their hair, I don't know, maybe offering, if their hair is strong enough, offering them, whatever extensions, whatever the style is, so that they feel better. It's just, we have all of the tools available to help all clients.
Yeah. And it's getting to that more root cause versus just telling them it's hair loss. Like, there's not a whole lot you can do, or whatever you're telling your clients currently, right? It's getting to that root cause.
Exactly.
So with that, bringing those services into the salon, how is this different from, oh shoot, I had another doctor on the podcast, like the hair samples where you test the hair sample. How is it different? Like,
from what I know, because I'm familiar with that, the epigenetic hair analysis.
Yes, thank you. I could not think.
I listened to that episode too. So the difference is with the test that I do, it's a buccal swab. So you swab your cheek, it's sent to a lab, and we get the report shows approximately 500 different genes. Whereas in the hair, it's based on like a sample of the hair, because our hair holds, I want to say it's like 90 days of information as far as like what minerals or supplement or things like that you're deficient in. And so the overall thing with the gene testing that I do is it's more comprehensive. You get markers as far as in your nutrition and gut health, longevity panel, meaning like detox, detox pathways, how they need to be supported, toxin sensitivities that you may have, how is your immune function working so that it can support if you do have any toxin sensitivities that you're showing symptoms of, your sleep markers, metabolic health, cortisol, insulin, and hormones, sex hormones. So we have all of these panels, and it's kind of like a whole domino effect, like one works, with another. So like, again, like with the detox pathways, we can know which pathway needs to be supported, but we need to really start with nutrition and gut health, because if you're eating things that your body is like has an aversion to, and you're getting allergic reactions to it, there's inflammation, it's backing everything up. So let's start at the root there and then work our way through. So what I like to do is give clients just like foundational things so that they're not overwhelmed. Like, what are the main 3 things that you can do to change right now so that you can experience, just a healthier being, and then go from there and add certain things on. So it's a bit more comprehensive, I believe, as far as the hair test.
Gotcha. Okay. That's what I thought, but I just figured I'd ask, even though I can't remember the name of it. So with that, bringing those pieces in, are you able to read it? Like, have you been taught how to read the whole test, or do you have to send that off?
So what happens is that the step-by-step process, super simple. You purchase a DNA kit. A kit gets sent to you, to your home. Very easy. The instructions are all laid out. You do the swab, you send it back into the envelope, and it gets sent to a lab. And it takes about 4 to 6 weeks to get your results back. And so once the results are in, I receive them. Like if you're my client, I get the results. And yes, I have been trained to be able to read the reports so that I can relay back to you, which I feel like is probably one of the most valuable parts of this whole genetic testing, because there are some where you get the test and it's kind of like, okay, well, here you may have, some things here, but you don't really know how to read the test. You don't really know what to do. And so with the coaching, I feel like it really gives you that personalized, like targeted, tailored solution so that you can get your, health back on track, or whatever it is that you're experiencing back on track. So it's been a journey of learning how to do it, but it's been so, like, just the payoff of like people feeling better. Like, I'm all about, like, if someone feels better, they do better. And it's like, that's the major payoff of like really learning how to do this.
Yeah. How long did it take you to be able to learn those and bring that in?
Oh, I would say the program is, it's very ongoing. Like, my coach, she's awesome. It's like we have training consistently all the way through. You can get your certificate within approximately about like 6 to 9 months or something like that. Just depending on how much time you have, to focus on it. There's a process that you go through to get certified. And, but it's pretty awesome. It's the information that you receive in it is like mind blowing.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds amazing. And again, it's whoever's listening, if this resonates with you, right? If you were searching for that one thing to bring into your practice, into your salon, how does that take your salon to the next level and create that ecosystem for each of your clients? So I think that this is such a beautiful thing. I really love and want to learn so much more about it. Yeah. So tell us where we can find you and find out more about this.
So I'm on Instagram mostly, and my handle there is Chris Megia Barra. And in my bio, there's links to, like, if you're interested in a free clarity call, whether that be for you, or if you're interested in learning how to do it, I can connect you that way too.
That is amazing. Well, thank you so much. I mean, I just think that this is such a bonus, amazing thing to be able to bring into your salon. So thank you for sharing with us, for telling us all about it. And everyone listening, like, if this is something that you are interested in and you're dying to learn how to bring it onto your salon, reach out to Chris. As usual, everything will be in the show notes. So I will make sure to have your Instagram and any other links that we need in there. Check out the show notes. And thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me. And if you have any listeners who are interested in having the test done, I'll send you a code, Jackie, so that you can, with a 10% coupon code.
Thank you. Amazing. Even better. Yes. And I'm going to be checking this out too, because
awesome.
With our head spa, I think it would be a beautiful,
oh my gosh,
marriage. And especially with everything else that we're doing with the clean and sustainable, like, it just is the center of what we do. So I love it.
Can I add one really quick thing?
Please do. Yeah.
So just based on hair loss, one of the things that I notice a lot is just on ingredients or whatever. There are certain supplements that a lot of people use because they're popular. They work well for some. But there are certain ingredients in it that you can see on your genetic report that one may not actually absorb well. And so if they're not able to do that, then they're not getting the benefits. And that's why some people say, oh, I had so much success on that. And others say, that didn't work for me. So if you can get a targeted approach to it, that would be even so much better.
Of course. Right. And that's what we don't even realize is not everything is going to work for everyone. Right. And I don't know about you, but I have wasted tons of money on supplements and products. And I literally just recorded a whole podcast on overconsumption, and talk about overconsumption. Like, how many people go out and buy vitamins after vitamins and all of these things to try to take care of their health. but they don't even know if it's working or not.
Exactly. Exactly. And if through your test, you can find out what you really need. So yeah, and that's the thing. That's what a lot of people are doing, spending time, money, resources, all the things to like, throw spaghetti at the wall, hoping that it sticks. And, why not get the exact solution that you need?
Yes. And why not offer that solution in your salon?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And
Yeah,
again, because the client already trusts you, they already
exactly.
trust you. So if they're dealing a lot, health, I think, can be super personal. And so if they're dealing with something like that, they're already able to talk to you, even more probably than sometimes they do to their doctor, and share certain things with you. And if you can offer this to them, it's just kind of like, oh my gosh, wow. So
Yeah. Yeah. And as hairstylists and salon owners, I say it over and over again, but I believe it to my core. I feel like we have a responsibility to do better, to
mhm.
look deeper into what we can do, because we are not just hairstylists.
Mm-mm.
Hairstylists, I mean, the amount of information, like you just said, that they share with us openly. They tell us things that sometimes I'm like, okay, like
I'm
that's
like,
super.
did she really say that?
And in a salon environment, they feel safe.
Mhm.
They feel seen. They feel heard. So I feel that we have a responsibility to take that very seriously, and in the salon, offer services, products that are going to help them on this journey to feel safe, to feel healthier, to do better in their life, instead of just talking about what happened over the weekend or
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
I think of a very like Steel Magnolia. Isn't it Steel Magnolia? Wasn't that the now
With
I'm really like, I can't think of the name, but
yeah, yeah.
that movie where they're just chatting, like it's
Mhm.
all gossip and this and that in the
Oh,
salon.
right. Right.
We don't
Oh,
see that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Chewing
Was that
gum and doing all the things.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just talking about like whose boyfriend cheated on their like none of that.
Right.
We have a responsibility to really start to use our platforms
Mhm.
for good. And
Absolutely.
that is the stance that I have taken, not only in my salon,
Mm.
but here on the podcast and in my
Mhm.
academy and everywhere else that I'm speaking, is to use the platform for good.
Mm.
And we have so much more of a voice than we even realize we do.
Yeah. And they say, like, I mean, 90% of the time, we're the first ones to find out they're pregnant, they're going through a life
Yes.
change, they're doing all the things. So there is that trust factor there that's super special.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, I could just keep talking.
I
I
know.
loved our conversation. I love what you're doing. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. And make sure that you tune in, check out all of Chris's information, and we'll see you on the next podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Impactful Salon Owners Podcast. I hope today's episode gave you valuable insight and inspiration to take your salon to the next level. Before you go, I wanted to remind you that the Holistic Salon Academy is opening up soon. So if you're ready to dive deeper into clean, holistic, and sustainable salon practices and build a truly impactful business, be sure to join the waitlist. By signing up, you'll be the first to access all of the details and exclusive content before anyone else. You definitely don't want to miss out. And of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed this one, I'd love it if you could leave a review. It helps to grow the show and reach more salon owners just like you. And lastly, come hang out with me on Instagram at Clean Beauty Biz Coach, where I'm a real life person who loves to connect with you. I'm always in my DMs answering your questions and would love to chat more over there. Thanks again for being here, and remember, every step forward is a step towards lasting change. Until next time.